Today we're gonna be doing a deep dive into the lyrics of Fortnight. And if I'm honest, the first few times I heard the song, I was like, what is this talking about? So without any further ado, let's look at the lyrics closer. The song starts with, I was supposed to be sent away, but they forgot to come and get me. I was a functioning alcoholic till nobody noticed my new aesthetic. We briefly talked about this while we did our Easter egg hunt, but this is clearly a lyrical parallel to the song It Hits Different, where she sings, is it okay? Is it you? Or have they come to take me away? In It Hits Different, she also talks about drinking. I threw up on the street, clearly a reference to her throwing up from being drunk. She also talks about I slur your name. She's obviously slurring his name again from being drunk. Now, there's a big debate going on around the song about who it is about or what exactly. And I think it came to a shock to a lot of us that a lot of the songs are actually not about Joe on this album. But I do want to make it clear that when I try to figure out who songs are about, it's not me trying to minimize Taylor's music or creativity into it being about a man. She hides clues. I like looking for them. I think we all like looking for them. It's all in good fun. And at the end of the day, I like her music regardless of whether it's about one person or another. It's just a bit of fun. That said, I think that this song is about both Joe and Maddie. Because this first verse is clearly drawing a parallel to It Hits Different, I definitely think that this verse is talking about Joe. She's talking about their breakup and how she dealt with it. Perhaps she really turned to alcohol during that time and became so crazy that she was at a point where she wouldn't have been surprised if she was institutionalized. Let's move on to the next part of the verse. So she sings, all of this to say, I hope you're okay, but you're the reason. And no one here's to blame, but what about your quiet treason? So what I think she's saying here is that she wishes him well, but he's the reason that she is not. And she says, no one here's to blame, which makes me wonder if maybe they broke up amicably, or if she's saying this in a more sarcastic way. Because she does call him out that he did something. What about your quiet treason? This could be referring to a broken promise, cheating. My judgment tells me he probably did something, but not too earth-shattering, because it does come across as they ended on good terms. But maybe the fact that she was more tortured than him throughout the breakup makes her feel even worse. Now we entered the chorus. And for a fortnight there, we were forever. Run into you sometimes, ask about the weather. So by now you probably know that the term fortnight means 2 weeks time, and it's a really British term. So what I gather from this is that she doesn't mean an actual fortnight. She's not referring to a 2-week period. She's just saying for a brief period of time, like it didn't last, it didn't go on forever. So again, I still think she's talking about Joe. Not because 6 years wasn't a long time, but because it's gone now. So she's kind of saying, oh, for a minute there, for a moment there, for a fortnight there, we were forever. She talks about running into him and talking about the weather. So just basically having small talk. Also kind of a parallel to Back to December, where she sings, you've been good, busier than ever, we small talk, work and the weather. Just representing that the conversations are kind of meaningless. In the next part she sings, now you're in my backyard, turned into good neighbors. Your wife waters flowers, I want to kill her. First time I heard this, I was like, what in the world? So let's break it down. She calls him a good neighbor, saying that he's in her backyard. Basically saying that he is still in her life somehow. He's in the vicinity. She runs into him. It's not like he's completely gone. His wife watering flowers essentially just means that she's a good person. She takes care of her responsibilities. And when she's saying wife, she really just means new partner. And the fact that it's such a good person just drives Taylor crazy. That's why she's saying, I want to kill her. And now we're moving into verse 2. All my mornings are Mondays stuck in an endless February. So we all know Mondays are arguably the most hated day of the week. And February is kind of the Monday of months. But also it's an interesting choice for her to say an endless February, because February is the shortest month of the year. Now, rumor has it that Taylor and Joe actually broke up in February, which would kind of tie the whole theme of this together. All her mornings feel dragged out. They're just long. It feels eternal. She can't get out of it. I took the miracle move on drug. The effects were temporary. Now, this is the line where I think she starts referring to Maddie Healy. He is the miracle move on drug. Basically goes to someone else to try to get over her ex. But the effects were temporary. So while it did work, it also didn't last. People have also drawn some parallels here to Don't Blame Me, where she sings, my drug is my baby. Here it has a much more negative connotation. And I love you, it's ruining my life. I love you, it's ruining my life. Now, these are lyrics that she teased while promoting Tortured Poets. And in the Alexa, Amazon Prime, whatever it was, those audios where she's explaining the songs, she did say that this was very hyperbolic and very exaggerated and dramatic, but that was the type of album that this was. Like, she realizes that this sounds very extreme.
It's a very fatalistic album in that there are lots of very dramatic lines. about, life or death. And I love you, it's ruining my life. Like, these are very hyperbolic, dramatic things to say, but it's that kind of album.
Here, I believe she's talking about Joe. Her love for Joe is ruining her life because she can't seem to move on. It's holding her back. Again, makes me think about Hits Different, where she's talking about where she doesn't get invited to things anymore because basically all she does is weep and be upset about her past relationship ending. I touched you for only a fortnight. I touched you, but I touched you. For me, the last bit is what's interesting when she says, but I touched you. She's almost reassuring herself that it happened. So maybe it was just for a fortnight, but she did touch him. It did happen. To me, this is clearly drawing a parallel to I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, where she sings, I keep finding his things in drawers. Crucial evidence I didn't imagine the whole thing. Then we get back into the chorus. The first half is the same, but it is extended. And for a fortnight there, we were together, running to you sometimes, comment on my sweater. So again, reinforcing the short time that they were together in the big spectrum of things. But the word sweater really got me thinking about cardigan, because at the end of the day, a cardigan is just a type of sweater. So I wonder if that's what she was making a reference to here. I don't know if she refers to maybe Joe being bold and asking straightforward about like what's happening in her love life, or maybe not asking but commenting, because that's the word she's using here. Or it could be symbolism that he asks how she's doing and she's just feeling beaten down. Thinking about those emotions that she describes in Cardigan. Is somebody making her feel like she's their favorite? But this is just my theory, so let me know what you think about that line in the song. Comment on my sweater. And then she sings, now you're at the mailbox, turning to good neighbors. My husband is cheating. I want to kill him. So again, talking about them being neighbors, they're not physically neighbors, but he is somewhere in the vicinity that it's easy for her to run into him. And maybe just making a reference to them being in a good relationship regardless of the breakup. And when she says, my husband is cheating, I want to kill him, she's basically saying the person that she's with now is not being good to her, maybe literally cheating on her. And meanwhile, his wife waters flowers. So she wants to kill her because she's so angry. She wants to kill her husband or new boyfriend because he's not good to her. The whole situation is making Taylor mad and angry. Then we get this repetition of I love you, it's ruining my life. I touched you for only a fortnight. And we arrive to the closing where Post Malone comes in. Thought of calling you, but you won't pick up. Another fortnight lost in America. I think this might be in reference to both her and Joe getting the feeling that they want to call each other, but they simply don't. Because the relationship is already ended. So probably at the start, they had a difficult period getting up on their feet after being together for 6 years, maybe still looking for each other. But they both know that they shouldn't call, and they both know that if the other calls, it's better that they don't pick up and they keep their distance because the relationship ended for a reason. And another fortnight is lost in America because another fortnight that they could have shared ends up obviously not being shared because they shouldn't be communicating with each other. They're losing a fortnight that they could have had, another little forever. Then they sing, move to Florida, buy the car you want, but it won't start up till I touch you, or till you touch me in the second part of this outro. So Move to Florida is two things. First, just a reference to the fact that there is a song called Florida on the album, and second, people are associating with Maddie Healy. They think Florida actually is just symbolism for Maddie Healy. So she moves on with Maddie. Buy the Car You Want could be a reference to King of My Heart, where she talks about all the boys in their expensive cars but never took me quite the way you do. So it could be about moving on to another type of lifestyle. But the car is basically worthless. It won't start until they touch each other. I see it as one of those metaphors of like money means nothing if I don't have you. All in all, the song is just a story of Taylor's journey through her breakup. For me, it's kind of like just touching on the surface of the middle part of it. So we did have It Hits Different and You're Losing Me being more the Joe breakup songs than anything. And here it's kind of that middle part where she's just broken up and going through the feelings of, okay, I need to move on, and what am I gonna do? Miracle move on drug, let's go to someone else. And what happens when that someone else is also not good for you, but then your ex-partner seems to have found somebody really good, and she's just saying that while she remains in love with Joe, it will just ruin her life. She cannot go about her life. She cannot carry those emotions around with her all the time. She described that she pictured this song as taking place in sort of an American town where a girl moves there thinking she's gonna have her American dream, but it doesn't work out. She doesn't end up having the guy that she wants, and she doesn't get that life. She says the lyrics are both very fatalistic and hyperbolic, that it's an album full of drama, but we love that. Did I miss anything in this breakdown? If I did, please let me know below because I love to talk about these things. I'm curious if you have any other theories about what this song is talking about. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!